to James Harden.
It's a three.
To get the role of 76ers team babysitter? Here's a dude with an MVP award, 10 All-Star selections, 3 scoring titles.
He fell down.
112 40-point games.
Steps back, fires.
And 78 career triple-doubles.
Just unloads.
He hits the dagger on the road in a playoff series and then has to tell his young teammates to stop celebrating and get off the court. Where are the staffers? Where is head coach Doc Rivers? Where's the veteran leadership on the team? James Harden has to do all these things because he is so much better than the entire 76ers organization.
Harden floater for the tie, got it!
Here's how he got to that point. The Oklahoma City Thunder took a chance on a chubby guard out of Arizona State named James Harden in the 2009 NBA Draft.
The Oklahoma City Thunder select James Harden of Arizona State University.
In high school, Harden was a McDonald's All-American, which was perfect because then he got to eat his favorite burgers for free. At well over 200 pounds, James Harden was much heavier than other players at his position. But the league have room for a 6'5" shooting guard with little leaping ability and defensive shortcomings.
Now 0 for 3 in this one and a non-factor in the first 3.
James Harden and one. They're everywhere right now for Oklahoma City, knocking passes away. Harden for 3.
Yeah, I think we can find a spot for this guy. James Harden starred in his role for the Thunder, which was coming off the bench as the team's 6th man. OKC already had 2 young superstars in the lineup in Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook.
Westbrook's got a guy on either side. It's Durant.
Letting Harden come off the bench was a genius move by head coach Scott Brooks. Brooks also happens to be a fan of the channel. You better subscribe. You don't want to disappoint Scott Brooks, do you? Harden won the NBA's 6th Man of the Year award in 2012 with a line of 16.8 points, 4.1 rebounds, and 3.7 assists per game while shooting 39% from deep. The media called him a bad defender, but Harden even managed to average 1 steal per game that year. The young Harden was quickly becoming one of the league's more popular players, and he hadn't even learned his signature step back yet. He didn't develop that move until he played in Houston. So, how did he get to Houston?
Carry to Harden.
Harden at the buzzer. Oh, he knocks it down!
The trio of Durant, Russ, and Harden was becoming too expensive for the small market Thunder to maintain, so they shipped Harden off to the Houston Rockets, a move that would transform the Beard from a 6th man to a bona fide NBA superstar.
He did that right before the half, or he could drive on you.
The Rockets brought in Mike D'Antoni for the 2015-16 season. His advice to James Harden, shoot the damn ball. D'Antoni was famous for his fast-paced offense in Phoenix. He really turned up the heat in the modern three-happy NBA. D'Antoni's Rockets jacked up three-pointers at every opportunity, shattering the league record for most threes in a season.
Down to 3. Harden steps back, fires, that's the game!
The biggest beneficiary of this offense? James Harden. Harden absolutely went off in 2015-16, playing in all 82 games, dropping a career 29 points per contest, and dishing out 7.5 dimes per night.
Express, you know what I'm thinking about, don't you?
James Harden, put him in the popcorn machine. Yeah!
Meanwhile, the Philadelphia 76ers were in the midst of one of the worst seasons ever. The Sixers finished 10-72 that year. Harden was at the top of his game in 2016, and the Sixers had bottomed out. It's funny to think that their paths would cross in just a few short years. Harden still had some development to do, though. You see, Harden's three-point shot was so good that opposing defenses knew it was coming. Harden Harden needed to develop a tool to get clean looks from three, even when the defenders were expecting it. Ladies and gentlemen, the step back.
Harden, put him in the popcorn machine. Step back. Harden, yes.
Harden began abusing the NBA with his step back jumper. Is it a travel? Maybe. Was it effective? Definitely. His lethal step back propelled Harden from a solid NBA All-Star to one of the best scorers of all time.
And it is to beat the buzzer in the third quarter.
Harden won 3 straight scoring championships by averaging 33.7 points per game from 2018 to 2020 with the Rockets. Harden was literally unstoppable. Opposing coaches were desperately searching for any method of slowing him down. The Utah Jazz even did something crazy in the 2019 NBA playoffs, defending James Harden from behind to eliminate his step-back jumper. Yes, Jazz head coach Quinn Snyder determined he'd rather allow Harden a free drive into the paint than give him the chance for a step-back three. That's how scary prime James Harden was.
Deep three, Harden here, and he's made 2 in a row.
You can't knock the man's scoring acumen, but many bash James Harden for failing to win a ring in Houston. Harden's Thunder couldn't win an NBA title, nor could his Rockets, nor could his third team, the Brooklyn Nets.
Anything, get rid of the basketball.
Westbrook has 7 assists. Harden knocks down the 3 and a foul.
Many placed a giant asterisk next to all of Harden's elite stat lines, saying that he was not a clutch player and didn't have what it takes to win at the highest level. James had his flaws, sure. He had a soft spot in his heart for community pussy, getting his jersey retired at the Dream Strip Club in Houston after spending over $1 million in one night. He also never subscribed to this channel, which we hold against him. Turns out, there was one organization who loved the cut of Harden's jib. One organization who looked at this provocative, chubby party animal and said, yes, that's who we need to put us over the top. In 2021, James Harden was traded to the Philadelphia 76ers, and they lived happily ever... Oh, shit. Nope, not even close. The 76ers suck, even with James Harden.
This performance likely cost Doc Rivers his job in Philadelphia. I say that, I don't wish it, I don't want it, I don't think he deserves it, but I think that will happen.
The 76ers were elated to receive Harden in a trade with Brooklyn, thinking he was the one to finally put them over the edge as championship contenders. When Harden stepped off the plane in Philly, he said, "What the kind of organization is this?" The Sixers had been trusting the process throughout the 2010s, assembling a nucleus of Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons, Tobias Harris, and Tyrese Maxey. Tobias Harris was getting old, and Philly dealt Simmons to Brooklyn as part of the Harden deal. This meant it was the Harden, Embiid, Maxey show as the 76ers tried to win their first ring since 1983.
Has his pocket picked. Here comes Tyrese Maxey, making 31!
Back to this moment for a sec. How did this Philly team become so dependent on James Harden? It sounds like they had a lot of talent around him. Talent? Maybe. The ability to win? Nah.
No! God, please, no! No! No!
Joel Embiid has never won anything. He broke his back at Kansas in his only college season. He watched this shot go in.
Is this the dagger?
To dash his championship hopes in 2019. Turns out Joel Embiid is only good at 2 things: putting up meaningless 30-point, 20-rebound stat lines in losing efforts.
Joel's got 8 points, 5 rebounds already. Make it 10. 10 and 5 for Joel.
And rocking this tattered Balenciaga hoodie. Joel Embiid doesn't know the first thing about winning a championship. What about the coach, Doc Rivers? Now there's a dude who won with Boston back in 2008. Surely he knows how to win. Nope. Sorry. Doc lost his fastball. If Rivers was still a great coach, he would have been the one policing his team after this playoff win. The last time Doc Rivers won the Coach of the Year award was in 2000. That's over 20 years ago. Rivers hasn't even appeared in the NBA Finals since 2010. To say this guy is still an elite NBA coach would be lying. The media talked up Philly as if they were legit title contenders. But come on, this team was so reliant on James Harden that it wasn't even funny.
3 to shoot. Harden from deep.
Philly's offense went into the crapper on nights when Harden couldn't suit up. 116 points per game was a top 10 mark last year. 109 points per game would be dead last in the NBA. A 67% win rate, that's good enough to win the conference some years. 61%? That's like a 4 or 5 seed.
It's a 3. Harden's got 45!
You know the craziest thing about this game? Joel Embiid didn't even play. That's why he's celebrating in street clothes after the Sixers won. James Harden scored 45 points to lead Philly to a Game 1 road victory in the Eastern Conference semis without the league MVP.
Playoff screens, right? It's a 3. Good! Harden parries one for the lead.
Embiid returning would have to make Philly even better, right? Nope. Harden was at his best when he was allowed to be a ball hog. Think back to those Rockets days. Harden was a one-man show with the license to take step-back jumpers and contested threes anytime he wanted.
Trying to guard. Harden is fouled and goes!
That was the James Harden that balled out in Game 1 versus Boston. Having to share touches with Joel Embiid later in the series threw off Harden's game. The Beard attempted just 8 shots in Game 5 of the series. Philly still won somehow, but the Sixers aren't built to win when Harden isn't dropping 40.
Getting set to check in, sidestep triple, James Harden, count it.
In Game 6, Harden shot just 4 for 16, trying to facilitate looks for both him and Embiid.
Necessary. Harden on the crossover. Oh, he caught it.
It wasn't working, and the Sixers lost at home in a game that could have sent them to the Eastern Conference semis. Never fear, Mr. Game 7 himself, Doc Rivers, is on the sideline. Actually, Rivers is one of the worst coaches in NBA history when trying to close out a series. He's 6-10 in Game 7s. That's the most Game 7 losses ever. His teams are 16-33 all time in potential series clinching games. That's horrendous. So James Harden says, "Great, I have a coach who can't win and an MVP center whose fragile ego I need to stroke." It surprised absolutely no one when the Celtics routed Philly 112-88 in Game 7. Absolutely no one.
He's unguardable!
Is it any wonder Harden wants out of Philadelphia? He's a better coach than the coach, a better scorer than the MVP, and a better strip club patron than Rick Ross. Scott Brooks is counting on you to watch some more videos. How about some featuring Ja Morant? He's another strip club enthusiast, if that's what you're into.